Last call, everybody.
You don't have to go home. She can't stay here.
I feel like it's either that song or it's going to be like Journey's like "Don't Stop Believing."
Oh yeah, like a good end of the bar, like end of the night at the bar song where everybody's like holding hands and you're like, oh man, it's so good to see you. You're the best. No, you're the best.
Don't stop believing you need an Uber.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Best Friends podcast. One half of the Best Friends podcast with returning guest. Last call with Hannah from Naked Brewing. I'm going to give her a high five because she's on this. And she's also holding the headphones like a DJ right now, so it's just so rad.
Well, you know, I got on this hat. And
you can't take off a hat like that.
Oh, no, certainly not after today.
Not after a day we've had today.
Oh, no. I don't. Nobody wants to see what's underneath of this hat.
80 degrees, quote, partly sunny.
Yeah.
No, it was wholly sunny.
It was very sunny. I would have liked a whole lot more of that cloud cover.
I know.
But, you know.
That's why I had this tent under here because I'm like, I just want to attract the brewers out of the sun and be like, come, talk to me.
I know. Well, then I'm the idiot that only came at the very end. So I didn't step out of the sun at all. Except for twice to go fill up my water.
Oh, yeah. And so you brought a beer that is near and dear to your heart for this.
I did.
So I'm going to go pour out a little bit of this. And while I pour it out, tell us about For Sure.
For Sure. Yeah. So For Sure is, as you said, a beer that is special to me. It was the first beer that we put into cans when I started. So there's that. The name of the beer, For Sure, is kind of a fun, playful little jab at me.
For sure.
For sure. Because apparently I say for sure a lot. And it's a very specific pronunciation. For sure. Not for sure. Not faux show. It's for sure. So yeah, that was the name behind it. And then it has bright pink lips on it, kind of done in this pop art style. Bright pink lips, because I always have on lipstick. You know, it's my one little thing. Most days I look like I climbed out from some trash pile, but I always have on lipstick. So that was kind of the thought behind it. So do you see the resemblance?
All right, well, cheers.
Yeah, cheers, man. It's good to see you in person.
I
mean, the last time I think I saw you was when we filmed our Fleetwood Cat video.
I know, it's been so long. Yeah.
I mean, it was like 5 months ago.
That was 5 months. I was gonna say there were so many people here that I either like haven't seen in almost like 6 months or have never met in person before because we just do everything virtually.
Right, and especially being still in the middle of a pandemic, right? So
it's been cool to bring the people to the table. Wipe off the headphones and the microphone for everybody.
I do appreciate all of the safety, health, sanitizing protocols that happened.
There it is. There's a little bit of Clorox wipes behind me that I've been using.
Yeah. So, yeah, today was a good event. It was super fun. I liked the concept of being able to tables and actually talk about the beer.
You were in your element talking about
I really was. Because I joke around, but it's actually kind of the truth is, I'm a storyteller with beer. That's, I think, kind of my whole ethos. And so being able to tell the story behind this beer and why it's special, why it's something that has meaning to me is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's so different than the normal beer festivals where you have people that are coming up to you and there's a line, and so it's a matter of boom,
it's
boom,
like
boom,
a line in front of the jockey box.
And,
everybody pour a beer and be on your way.
Right. Yeah. So so this was a really cool concept. And there was the people that were here wanted to be here because they wanted to drink beer and support a good cause. And the cause is just
for local. Yeah, I mean the cause is Laurel House. Raising money for that. Mikey does a great job here, and the whole For Local crew with what they do. And, I mean, he lets me just, set up mics and talk to people, which is awesome.
Yeah, which means you're in your element, too.
I'm in my element, and I get to talk about all the great things he's doing. And it was so funny. So, the table right in front of where we set up was just like a little table of like blue hairs, like those women over 70, and they're just like, is it going to be loud over here? They saw me set up the mics. I'm like, I joked. I was like, I hope you don't mind a few F-bombs. And they just looked at me like daggers. And they were like, oh.
That was the table that I started at.
Oh yeah, how was that?
So like, well, it was a good like dip a toe into the pool.
So
right?
I saw like the slow kind of start for this. It was like everybody kind of trying to figure out where to go for like the initial beginning of this, and like that was the first table I saw you go to, and I was like, oh, this might be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and it was, but it was actually pretty cool because they really wanted to talk about Pink Boots and women in beer, and they had some really great questions. So it was
awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very cool, and the amount of connections that I was able to make with people here talking about women in beer and talking about equity and inclusion. That was cool because as you and I have talked about, and if anybody's listened to the podcast before, I'm sure you've heard me talk about all the work that I do within that realm, and so being able to talk about that again with a larger crowd and face to face, and some people that really wanted to learn and understand how they could help push the equity inclusion components within the beer industry. And like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome, like, talking to other brewers who just, they bring you up as an example, too. They're, like, we talked to Tannery Run, and they were talking about the Pink Boots, and they're just like, oh, yeah, and Hannah from Naked, and we're just like, yeah, Hannah, exactly, we know Hannah.
Yeah,
like,
Carly's awesome.
Yeah, you get name dropped all the time with that, so...
Well, one of my superpowers is I'm aggressively friendly. It's networking, so...
Aggressively shotgunning.
Yeah, aggressively shotgunning. Yeah, well, yes. So I went to Well Crafted yesterday so I could do a shotgun with Krupel. And he is a fucking beast when it comes to shotgunning beers. Like, I have never met anybody that could chug a beer as fast as that dude can. And, yeah.
I'm so glad we caught it on tape. So, guys, go back to our social media if you want to see it. We got it on film, and it was... just so impressive.
You're like, what? So I do Shotgun Friday every Friday, right? And it's a thing. It's kind of my way. Thank you for the glasses. It's kind of my way of, I don't know, like connecting with other people, right? Because I work by myself, and so I've like created this whole Shotgun Friday thing, and believe it or not, people actually will like stop by the brewery just to do Shotgun Friday with me.
They're like, hey, are you doing Shotgun Friday?
Yeah, seriously, people will. And so that's been really cool because it's allowed me to like to meet some new people and like create some more connections. But then it's a cool way because I posted on my Instagram in a story, and so it's been something kind of fun, and I tag people in it, but I really encourage anybody that wants to do it. I don't care if you want to shotgun a beer. I don't care if you want to just take a sip of a beer. I don't care if you want to chug a water. It really doesn't matter for me. It's just all about like the sense of community and like just bringing people together and being like, hey friends, like I know it's been a long week, we made it, hooray!
Networking with other breweries and just bringing them into the fold. And it's great when you do it with other breweries like Krupel from Well Crafted,
right?
And bringing other people into it and just showing a sense of community with it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah. It's been pretty cool, and actually, it's something that I was introduced to the concept and the idea by a friend that works at Hitchhiker now, but we used to brew together, and so it was something that he had started doing, and he brought it kind of to something, and then I just kind of like carried it forward, and so it's cool. I text him every Friday, and I'm like, happy Shotgun Friday. So it's always nice when I'm able to get out to Pittsburgh and actually visit him and do a shotgun in person.
I love getting the Shotgun Friday notification at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, I'm working till 5:30. I still work from home, and I'm like, I could totally shotgun a beer right now, but...
Yeah, it's, well, so I do try to front-end load my week. So I book myself pretty solid Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And
you're a one-woman show. So.
I am. So by Thursday and Friday, I'm trying to allow for the things that inevitably go wrong within a brewery. I'm trying to allow extra time and space for those things to happen so that I'm not super stressed, because nobody wants to be super stressed on a Friday. Like, that's not a good way. Like, we're just trying to promote good vibes, So, like, nobody wants to roll into the weekend feeling overworked and stressed out. Like, I like to just, like, here we are. We made it.
We did it, guys.
We did it. So, yeah. So I don't know. It's my Shotgun Fridays are like I'm done. Like, boom, we're done. Happy weekend. Let's get this started.
Bring in the weekend.
Yeah. So yesterday was super fun because I brought beer up here, dropped it off early so I didn't have to worry about it this morning, and then I went to Well Crafted and hung out, had some beers with those dudes, and shotgun some beers, had some pizza, some flatbread, and then went over to 10-7 and saw the homies over at 10-7. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, did some milk tubes.
The milk tubes.
Get mad, get bent.
Get mad about it.
That's what I posted yesterday. I was like, get mad, it's delicious.
Speaking of delicious, let's get back to for
sure. Oh yeah. Right. So it's a hazy double IPA. It's brewed with Pilsner, wheat, a little bit of rye, because rye is my favorite malt, and it just adds like a little bit of pizzazz in there, and then a whole lot of flaked oats. And then it's hopped with Citra Mosaic and Cashmere. And Cashmere was one of the 2 hops in our Fleetwood Cat collab.
Fleetwood Cat, yeah. That, I was actually talking to another brewer about Cashmere. As we were drinking this, Twisted Gingers came over, and they're like, "What are you guys drinking?" We're bored. We came over, and we had a little for sure with them, which was a ton of fun. And, we talked about Cashmere, Mosaic and Citra, the buddy cops of any hazy IPA right there. So they're the Riggs and Murtaugh right there. So
Yep. And I think Cashmere is a really underrated hop. It's become one of my favorites, but I think it's really underrated. I don't think that enough people use it. And but I'm fine with that because you can keep buying all the other hops. I'll just buy all the Cashmere. I'm cool with that.
I think it does a good job of balancing all the other hops.
I agree. I think it's a nice mix and complementary flavor profile to some of the other hops. Because Fleetwood Cat was Cashmere and Sequoia.
Yep. And I was actually talking to Twisted Gingers. They did a West Coast IPA with their Sequoia.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Which is like they were talking about how like Sequoia is kind of used a lot in West Coast IPAs, and which is great that we were kind of bringing it into the hazy fold with ours.
Yeah. I would like to use that hop again, because I think it was cool.
We're always here to hang out.
Yeah.
So if you want to use it again, just slide in our DMs. We're
here. I mean, I won't ever turn down an opportunity to dress up like Stevie Nicks. So
yeah,
or like dress up in general.
I know you have all the costumes there.
All the costumes.
Like, we won't pass up another opportunity to dress up in costumes. So
I have a dress up box at the brewery. So.
So do you guys have anything? Any big releases coming out?
So the next couple of releases will be Copy Cream Ale. Our Irish Red is coming back. Blaze, that'll actually be next week. Blaze is coming back. Coffee Cream Ale is called Ground Effects. That'll be out in a couple weeks. S'mores Smoked Porter is coming back.
Oh, I just had the one you gave me. It was like in my
I made
fridge.
a bigger batch this time.
Made a bigger batch?
I made a bigger batch.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's what I'll be pouring at Kennet.
Kennet Beer Fest?
Yeah.
Nice.
So that and probably Blaze, the Irish Red.
Awesome. Back in the
either
Beer Fest.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm only doing 2. This is one of them, and Kennet's the other one.
Awesome.
Yeah. So beyond that, I'm super stoked. I've got a cool collab coming up that I'm real stoked on.
Oh man.
Yeah. So my homies that I used to brew with previously, one's now the head brewer out of Hitchhiker, one's the head brewer at Brew Daddy.
And East versus West.
We all left our previous brewery and became head brewers somewhere. So we had this idea to all brew together because we were all pretty tight, and we had this idea to call it 3 heads are better than 1, right? But get this. So I messaged them a couple weeks ago because Derek out at Hitchhiker is going to be in town, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's brew. So we got this date nailed down, and I was like, y'all want to brew with hemp? And they were like, yes. And I said, y'all want to do a hazy triple IPA since there's 3 of us and call it 3 hazy heads?
Oh, man.
So I'm real fucking stoked about that.
That's awesome. I've only ever had one other beer brewed with hemp, and CBD actually was Shaler up in West Reading. They did one.
CBD is actually illegal in any food or beverage in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know.
Especially alcohol.
Yeah,
So yeah, so I'm gonna brew this beer with hemp, but I'm going to talk to the TTB / federal government about how I need to go about doing this to make it completely legal.
so they collaborated with like a CBD store on the release and everything too, and I was like, guys, I have to try it. On the nose. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was like straight out of like cracking the bag in college and just feeling it like fill up the dorm room. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this beer, aromatics.
So there's a farm that I work with a lot and get ingredients from called Barefoot Botanicals, and they're in Doylestown, and I love them so much. And about 2 or 3 months ago, they had given me some hemp to try. And so I had done these little like mini bench trials with it, and essentially I was just making like hemp tea with it, and I was trying different exposure times, right? So like tasting it 5 minutes, tasting it 15 minutes, tasting it 30 minutes, and kind of moving forward. Well, one of them I had forgotten that I had left there, and it was tucked behind something.
Bye, Mike.
Bye, Mike. Mike from Broken Goblet. So I had forgotten that I had left this container, and it was probably honestly like a week later, and I was like, why does it smell so dank over here? I'm like, did I forget something from the dispensary in my bag? Like, what's happening? And then I found this tea that I had made, and I was like, oh yeah, all right. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I think
excited
it'll be
too,
good.
because I think on the nose, people are gonna get an experience and a little bit of like
yeah, I mean, so cannabis and hops are in the same family. They're they're cousins. So like there's a lot of parallels between the two. So I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen. I have some ideas and some plans. I think we're gonna use both dried and fresh. So I'm gonna harvest some hemp. Yeah, dude, you should see. I'm gonna show you the like. I'm gonna show you the picture.
Got some plants.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna show you the picture that they sent me the other day. So I talked to their owner, Eric, the other day. Yeah. He was like, Hannah, you should just I don't know if anybody can actually see that or not, but he was like,
Fields of green, guys.
You should just come walk through this field. He's like, it smells so good. So, yeah. And it seems like everybody that I've talked to that grows hemp has kind of said, like, just the aroma of being able to walk through the fields is basically like they're living out their like high school dreams, right?
I know. I was thinking of like any music from like the 70s just starts playing, like the Almost Famous soundtrack. Yeah. It just starts playing in the background.
Or like Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused or something just plays in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I'm super stoked about that collab. That's probably the one beer coming up that I'm like most excited about. Although I am also doing a graph, so a cider beer hybrid. That's gonna be a blonde stout, apple pie, like baked apple pie olive oud. So I'm excited about that too. And then I just got some Basil Hayden barrels. Ooh, say what?
Ooh, barrel aged?
For Imperial Stout, yeah. Yeah. So stoked on that.
Love
too.
me a good barrel age. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom's texting me because he's lonely.
Oh, Tom. Tom, why aren't you here? Tom, why do you hate me?
He's at an aquarium with his son for his birthday.
Okay, well, aquariums are cool.
Fair enough.
Aquariums are cool as shit. So I will allow that you are not here. But you did break my heart a little bit, Tom. I have to tell you that.
He broke everyone's heart. Hold on. I think I have a few. I made sure that I had him ready in case I needed to bring him onto this.
Oh, okay.
So, hold on.
Lactose.
Hold on.
Mouthfeel. Head retention. King of butt rock.
All right, so you've gotten the gist of having Tom on the podcast.
Yeah,
right
so
there.
that was Tom was here. Hey, bye. All right.
But this has been the best last call for a podcast stream here. So thank you so much for coming on,
guys.
Thank you. Make sure you're following Naked Brewing. Oh yeah, we have to come up and hang out again.
Yeah, come hang out with me.
Shotgun Fridays. We have to make sure we can get Tom to like take some time off and do Shotgun Fridays.
Yeah.
And come up and hang out. Are you going up to Oktoberfest at Warwick on the 25th?
So I don't think so, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I've got so many things going on the next few weekends. It's really hard, but everybody should go to Warwick and
I'll be there.
support them.
I won't be doing a podcast, but I'll be
that's draw in itself. But I think I'll actually be at Swanza Day in the city.
Oh, okay.
At Monk's.
Oh.
Yeah, because my girl Colleen is at Cantillon now, so I want to support her.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you for coming on. This beer was great. This was a highlight of the day for me. So
fuck yeah, dude. Thank you
so much.
Cheers, for sure.
Guys, we are closing out the podcast live stream, so go ahead and follow us on all social media, Best Best Friends Pod, Best Best Friends POD. No music drops, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night. See you.
Peace.